Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. My name is Rabenschild and we are still working on the SOLARSAT. I switched it basically on. I found out some things for the for the whole nanite thing, and I found out why my SOLARSAT had some problems with turning the sails. It's amazing. I'm it's so neat. These things are so cool. These repair beacons, because again I don't have to connect the Duchessa to the satellite itself anymore. Now I can repair ships. I can, don't know, build stations just by placing one of these beacons, and then everything works fine. It's amazing. The mod author of this thing, I don't get the name right at the moment, and I can't recall it. Did a wonderful job. I really need. I can only praise what the guy or the girl has done here. Ah, it's so cool. I will clean up this thing here because I don't need it anymore. And then, yeah, I have to keep building this thing because the antenna, it is built too. I've switched it on and I've connected it to the station or to the moon base. It's just cool. These two mods, the nanites and this thing, are at the moment the things I love the most. The beam drill is, I would say, a close third, because now this ship is absolutely amazing, because now I can build with it, I can mine with it. It is an all-round super ship. It looks cool from the beginning, so the guy that built this ship also has my eternal love. And I just made a few additions to it that, yeah, I still have to work this out. Having these things stick out, I kind of like it, but on the other hand, it gives a weird profile to the whole thing. But let us go to the things I've found. So if you build things with rotors, I found out the repair beacons, as far as I see it, I will have to test that more, don't recognize the rotors as a connection. So the beacon I have here didn't work out for the sail itself. So I don't know why it recognizes the whole structure when it is connected, but it doesn't recognize the structure when it is not connected, and I just have this beacon here. Oh, I have some FPS problems. I have one of the browsers. I have Chrome in the background. That could be a problem. I will not close it right now. I will just keep doing what I'm doing here. So I've placed another beacon on the sail, and then it started up again and started to weld the whole metal structure and the sails, the solar panels. I have another repair beacon down here for the thruster component here, and it works too. And then there is the what did I want to say? I forgot it. So this whole thing got built by this repair beacon, the sail by this, and then I could work on this structure with this repair beacon. I've added some of the upgrades that makes my life a bit easier. I've added another assembler and some of these upgrades to the nanite factory. These are speed. that might not be right. But I have put on 1 speed, 1 power, and 2 construction upgrades. This should speed up the whole process. I didn't take a look what it did to the thing. I don't know, maybe it upgraded the travel time and the construction travel speed. I don't know. I don't really care for the numbers there. But the 2 assemblers work. That's a good thing. And the thruster part does its job too. You can see that it is already kind of slanted. Is that the right word? And the thrusters turned off when there's not enough sun on them. One thing I did to the rotor, that was one of the problems I had with the structure. It didn't turn right, or it took too much power to turn. And I had to add, don't know, more thrusters. I had more thrusters on the original structure and more solar panels. But what I did is I brought down the forces the rotor needs. Let us go there and take a look at it. So, for some reason, the torque also applies when I want to turn the whole thing. So I brought down the torque. I had the torque absolutely on the end of the scale. I didn't move the the slider here. I just had it to the top, and it didn't work. And I worked with the braking torque. Maybe that is the problem, but it still didn't work even when I brought it completely down. But when I started to take down the torque here, it immediately started to work. So if you want to build something like this, a structure that, don't know, moves on its own, then also bring down the torque of the rotor. Maybe that's, I don't know, maybe it could be that the rotor itself at the moment is set to work in this direction, so turn this way. I didn't test that. And it could be that the thrusters have to work against the torque this rotor is supposed to put out. So if you bring it down, the thrusters have a much easier life of turning this whole thing. Now I hope I still have the right direction for the sun. I will have to take a look at that when the sun turns this way now. I will have to move this whole structure to there. But I think it turned this way, so this should be right. This thing works, a lot better now. And now I can just keep on adding solar panels. And then we should see, or soon see, that the antenna here is transmitting energy again. You can see that the batteries and the power is at the moment in complete overload. When I had the ship still connected to it, it just took the power from the ship away. That was also a big problem I had. But the antenna. Last time I made a mistake because you have to set the power transmitter to what is this called in English? I don't know. I set it to M and then R, and that means receiving. Take a look at that. I was taking a look at it and nothing happened here because I had set it to receive. Now I've set it to send. Now you can see that it has a required input and a max input, and it shows that it is also already sending stuff. So it is at the moment sending 5.5 megawatts of power just from the solar panels. And we have no receivers in range, and it is only transmitting over, roughly 2 kilometers. That needs to change, so more solar panels. Good thing with the ship is now that if I ever run out of a material, I could fly to one of the asteroids, mine the material, fly back, and then I have the material that I need. I made some runs with the Rabbit to bring in platinum and silver, I think, because I didn't have enough materials for the thruster components here. But this, now I don't need more thrusters here. At least I hope. I will have to see if at one point the weight makes problems of these things. But what I want to do now is place more steel blocks or armor blocks, and then place more solar panels. And I will have to see how big I can make the whole thing. It could be that, at one point the thrusters don't do their job anymore because maybe the structure is just too big for it to work. Okay, I will keep on working here, and maybe I can get it to start transmitting power back to the moon base again. I saw that the moon base now has a bit of a power problem. The reactors do its job there, but I would like to get it back onto solar power as soon as possible. You can see the nanites immediately start to get back to working. It's the best. Good people, let me work a bit more, and then I will meet you back with more progress. Just to show that to you, here's what I've been talking about. The rotor kind of, stopping the beacons from working. You can see that this beacon is active, and it welded this part of the rotor, but the nanites stopped here, and now I have to bring in another rotor, and we will see if it immediately starts to work. Come on. See, there they are. The nanites immediately start to go to work here. Okay, just see that's the information you might want to have if you yourself want to use the nanite factory here. I started to work on the second sail because this one is I'm 1.5 hours in or so, and let's say it that way, it's not the same as I built it the first time. This goes much smoother and a lot faster here, but it still takes a lot of time, and mainly because the assemblers are not so intelligent as I would hope they would be. It starts to, for some reason, it only takes one assembler and gives orders to it, and then I can't say what assembler it takes, and it's weird. Prepare for that. So bring in more assemblers. Don't only set up the ones that the nanite factory uses. Also use other assemblers. Connect them, let them work together, and then get as much material prepared as you can. So I have assemblers now running for solar panels, for steel, for computers. I prepared that a bit so that the nanites can immediately go to work. You should do something similar. The assemblers that work with the nanite factory, it's nice because, hey, you don't have to think about stuff. If computers are needed and you don't know, didn't prepare for that. It starts to produce them, but it takes its time, especially for something like solar panels. If it's the assembler that is connected to the nanite factory is the only assembler, it takes a whole heck of a lot of time. So I will go and start the second sail now, and I will do more work in the meantime. I wanted it to get to the part where it at least transmits power to the other side, basically, but I think I will have to do a lot more. See that this whole panel at the moment produces 16 megawatts, and it is still not where it should be. So the second panel, one thing I want to find out is how big is the range of the nanite factory, because at the moment it still works. So I hope that I at one point see where I would have to move the ship to, yeah, bring the nanites back into range and all that stuff. But again, second panel will start now, and I hope that I then can just continue to, yeah, build the panels up, and then, don't know, I want to break the threshold of, yeah, the power that is transmitted. So the moon base gets power from the satellite again, and then I can just come back and, yeah, build more and more solar panels to it. The thrusters do what they are supposed to do. So you can see that at the moment they are turned on. At some point then it kind of starts to break loose. It moves a bit, the thrusters turn off, it works. It works very, very nice. It's a cool thing. Maybe I can go and reduce the torque of this thing a bit more, and maybe then it maybe doesn't even need so much power. At the moment it turns on, and then when it gets enough power it seems to start to turn. But it works. It keeps the panels or still keeps. That was the plan, and it worked with the first model too. So it keeps them, towards the sun. They are all at full power, and it's good. One thing I missed out on is the first one was a bit nicer looking because I had slopes on here and all that stuff. I completely missed out to recreate that here. One thing I did is I numbered the panels. I will also number the rotors so that I can, identify them a lot easier. The letters mod helped me here. Good people. I think I will, I will stop for now, and we will see us in the next week. Maybe with more progress, but we will do something else then. Maybe go back to the mining station and work on that too. We can start to hook up a repair beacon on the mining station, and then we don't need to connect this ship and all that stuff. I also took a look, by the way, at the reactors. It seems that I have enough uranium for everything. It's working out really, really well. But people, this is all for today. I hope you liked the episodes of this week. If you did, then please, watch them, leave a like on them, and I hope to see you in the next week. See ya, guys.